It's your lunch break with Jay Crawford.
Yes, it is. Happy lunch break to you. Hello again, and welcome to the program. I'm Jay Crawford. Tiffany Tarpley back at the desk with us.
And I'm hungry. Hungry for more.
I am hungry, too. I'm hungry in both senses. Busy news day today. First on the menu, the impeachment hearings going on right now in our nation's capital.
And so what we want to show you now is what's happening live from Capitol Hill. You're looking at lawmakers grilling U.S. Ambassador to the EU, Gordon Sondland. So Sondland's testimony is the most explosive of the impeachment hearings so far. In his opening statements this morning, he explicitly said that there was, in fact, a quid pro quo because Ukraine's president was promised a White House visit in return for investigations of President Donald Trump's political rivals.
Sondland showed up today with new text messages as well as emails that say they prove the White House and State Department were aware of this agreement, saying, quote, they knew what they were doing and why. Everyone was in the loop, end quote. He also says he worked with Rudy Giuliani on Ukraine matters at the direction of the president, even though he didn't want to. He called it playing the hand he was dealt. Listen.
If I had known of all of Mr. Giuliani's dealings or his associations with individuals, some of whom are now under criminal indictment, I personally would not have acquiesced to his participation.
So the day started with Sondland reading a prepared opening statement. That was followed by Democratic lawmakers asking questions. Happening now on Capitol Hill, the Republicans' cross-examination of Sondland. They will likely bring into question the credibility of a witness that gave one story under sworn deposition, then made dramatic changes to that story in an amendment. It's safe to say this will continue throughout the day. We'll have complete coverage of today's hearings later today on 3 News at 6. You can also follow along in real time on WKYC.com. Next on the menu. Well, Tiffany, this is a big day as well for Browns defensive end Myles Garrett. We say big day because today is his day in court. Myles already in New York, and the hearing has already wrapped up. You're looking at video of him leaving the hearing this afternoon. Basically, at play here is his indefinite suspension that stems from his helmet swinging incident in the win over the Steelers last Thursday night.
Yeah, and you wonder how big this is with him actually showing up for this appeals process, right? So the league suspended Garrett early Friday for what the league called an indefinite amount of time. But that will include at least the remainder of the regular season and any playoff game should the Browns qualify.
Now, today, Garrett was in New York to meet with James Thrash. He's a former player who currently serves as the league's appeals officer for on-field activities. Thrash does have a history of reducing suspensions. He's done that a number of times in the past. But he's never heard one quite like this. This one's different than any he's listened to.
And we're talking about Roger Goodell, right? So speaking in an interview earlier this week, when the commissioner was asked if there was anything Garrett can do to potentially have his suspension reduced, he said, quote, he will probably meet with us sometime in the offseason, and I think we'll make a judgment on does he have remorse? So we were talking about this before, and that's the big thing. Is he remorseful?
That's what they're looking for. And they want to be convinced by Myles Garrett that this is a one-off, that this is not who he is. It's not a fair representation of his body of work as a player. In terms of a timetable here, Tiffany, this is very hard to nail down because in the past, the player has to have his appeal heard and ruled on before the team plays its next game. Larry Ogunjobi had his appeal heard yesterday, his one-game suspension appeal. We will likely hear either today or sometime tomorrow as to whether or not that suspension has been wiped off or upheld. As for Myles Garrett, we're hearing that we could hear from the league as early as 2 days from now, whether or not this suspension will carry through this season and into off-season games if it goes that far.
Sometime this week. I feel that's important, though, right?
So we have some sort of idea.
Right, and so the fans do as well, because this has been such a huge topic, right, on social media, just all over. Everybody's been talking about this, so it's kind of good that they...
It is also, in my view, possible that the league makes him think about it for a while. So while we could have a ruling in as early as this week, I wouldn't be too surprised if it doesn't bleed into next week and perhaps later in the season and maybe even into the offseason. The league takes this very, very seriously.
Yeah, we'll definitely be watching now.
By the way, as for the Miami game, all bets are off. Our defense is depleted. Watch him win on Sunday. Next on the menu, South Dakota has a meth problem, and their governor has launched a new ad campaign to try to tackle this problem. Take a look.
I'm on meth.
I'm on meth.
I'm on it too.
Meth is not someone else's problem. It's everyone.
So the ad's very blunt. You saw people from all walks of life, Tiffany, saying they're on meth. And it's controversial. Some in the state say, wait a minute, you're embarrassing us. You're making everybody across the nation is going to think that all people from South Dakota are using meth. It's a double entendre,
I was like, are
clearly.
these actors and actresses when I was first watching it? And then towards the end, you're like, oh, I get what they're trying to say.
Yeah, they're saying
we're
they're
on
on
top of the meth problem.
Yeah. For the governor's part, Kristi Noem, she is handling criticism this way, saying, look, this is a real problem, and she's trying to shine a light on it. Here's what she tweeted. 336 people were arrested, 366 people were arrested last year because of meth in South Dakota. 13 people died. These numbers are more than statistics. They're missing faces, empty chairs. Meth is an epidemic in our state, and we all need to pay attention. Let's get on it. Hashtag meth, we're on it. I can see why you'd be a little bit embarrassed with hashtag meth, we're on it.
Oh, well, there are critics out there who are saying, you know, is this really getting the message across when people are out there just kind of laughing at this campaign and they aren't taking it seriously? If people aren't getting the message, is it a good campaign? But she's also said, you know, or some people, leaders within that state are saying, hey, if people are talking about it, we are getting the message out there.
What do you think? Worthwhile?
I don't know that it's as effective as they wanted it to be. But I'm glad that they're talking about it and they're raising awareness about the issue.
It's an issue. In 1999, there were just under 17,000 overdose deaths in the United States. Look at that number where we are now, 2017.
Yeah.
It's gone from 17,000 to 70,000 in 18 years.
It's a real problem. We know we cover the stories. And so what I found interesting is that because people are cracking down on the heroin epidemic, then now the move is toward meth.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, big day in the Christmas tree world. Here's why. You may have to pay more money for them this year than years past. I didn't realize this, but in 2008, because of the recession that was hitting the United States, the folks that planted Christmas trees cut back on the number that they planted.
Okay.
So you couple that with some unusually hot growing seasons and rainy growing seasons, and the numbers are down. Watch.
And it's a 10-year cycle, so trees that they were planting then wouldn't be available for about a decade later, and add the increased demand about this time, it's really been the perfect storm for a shortage.
Yeah, a bunch of things at play here. I mentioned the recession and the weather, but also because it takes 10 years from the time that you plant a lot of trees before you can harvest them, you can understand why if they planted fewer in 2008, there are going to be fewer to harvest, and then you throw in the weather and everything else.
Here's my question to you. Artificial or real? What do you do?
I'm real. I am real. But for the first time, I've been married 32 years. For the first time in our marriage, my wife has brought up the idea of maybe we should go with an artificial tree, primarily because our kids are grown and one's in New York and one's in California, and it is a little different now around the holidays.
You can also plug in the sense that you need of the tree smell, right? That's all you need.
Are you real or artificial?
Artificial for me, and partly because, I mean, you know, for a long time I was single, and so I didn't need the real tree. But, you know, you pay one price, use that thing every year, right?
That's
and
exactly
the lights
right.
are already attached, and it's perfect.
And it's not nearly as messy.
Yeah.
Not nearly as messy. Okay, wow, music fans going crazy today, and we're going to find out why now in Clicking in Cleveland. Here's our digital anchor, Stephanie Haney. Big day in the music world.
Huge day. The 62nd Grammy Awards nominations are out today, and Lizzo, our girl, is dominating. She has 8 nominations, which is the most of any artist. That's including a nod for Record of the Year for Truth Hurts, which all of us have been hearing all over the place, and Best New Artist. Billie Eilish and Lil Nas X, who are also up for Best New Artist, each got 6 nominations. And then there's Ariana Grande, who's representing for the veterans. She is up for a total of 5 awards. That includes going up against Lizzo for Record of the Year for her song 7 Rings. We have the full list of nominees on WKYC.com, and those winners will be announced on January 26th when the Grammy Awards airs on CBS. Now, here is something that you should be clicking on. 3 News has a brand new YouTube series. It's called Reality Break, and it launched just about an hour ago. It's hosted by Tiffany Tarpley, who is lunching with us here today, and Jasmine Monroe and Danielle Wiggins. Together, they find their way over good food, good conversation, and there are celebrities involved. Hey, how about that? In this first season, their guests include comedian Lonnie Love, actress and now screenwriter Yvette Nicole Brown, author Ramona Robinson, and Cleveland Indians in-stadium host Gabrielle Cruz. And they talk about it all. Everything from how to manage our careers, to friendships, to the chaos of dating in this modern world. Here's some advice from Yvette.
We spend so much of our times, our 20s, our 30s, just on this hamster wheel running. And for what? There's no reason. You are going to have exactly the life that you're supposed to have. Exactly that life. It may not look like hers, it's not gonna look like hers, but it's what's made for you.
I will tell you what, that speaks to me. Comparison is the thief of joy.
Oh gosh, isn't it? So, and in
But
these
it's everywhere.
conversations, it is. But it's you get that reality. Sometimes you forget what's really important in life.
Yeah.
It's not always where you are in your career. You know, it's about what you're doing for others.
And I think it's more difficult now than ever with social media everywhere.
Oh,
Everybody
it
is
definitely
posting
is.
what they want their life to be online.
The highlight reel.
And then
It's the highlight reel.
all of us normal people are looking at that saying, wow, I don't compare. I didn't go to
Yeah,
Paris this week.
It's tough. And so that's where reality break comes in. I think it's a reminder of the good things in life and just the challenges that we all face and what you need to do to kind of overcome those challenges. I can tell you with every guest that we've had, I've really taken away something from our conversation.
Good.
And something that can help me into the future. So I think it can help really all of us.
Good luck with it.
They are
It's on
powerful. YouTube, yes, check it out now. We've put it out there like it's Netflix. So all the season has launched.
can
whole
binge.
season.
You can binge
the
watch
whole
it. Yes,
season is
binge
up
watch
on our
reality.
YouTube right
And
now.
how do they see it?
YouTube. You can also go to our Instagram stories and you can swipe up. Right?
Yep, you
know
can
all
go
about
to
that.
youtube.com/user/WKYC
She's got it
TV.
down.
It's up there. Make sure you subscribe. Click the bell so you can see all the
click
episodes.
and subscribe. That's what they say, right?
Yeah, subscribe.
Click the bell.
Look at the.
That's
the
why she's
link
our
down
digital
below.
anchor.
Subscribe. Okay.
She
we
knows
got it.
all the ins and outs of that. Okay, coming up next on the menu, a local family waited years for one moment. What a National Adoption Month means to them. That's next. Welcome back to Lunch Break. November is a big month because it is National Adoption Awareness Month. And this is very important because, Tiffany, there are so many families that want to adopt children, but there are still millions of children that need homes.
Yeah, and especially here in Cuyahoga County, I think they've had the largest numbers that they've seen in years. So Lindsay Buckingham is going to tell us the story of one couple who waited here in Northeast Ohio for a child across the world. Her special needs put her in the arms of a perfect family.
How long would you wait to start the rest of your life? A 25-year journey led Scott and Lisa Goodson of North Ridgeville to their daughter Emma. A phone call in 2010 changed everything.
Did you find my daughter? And they said, yes, we did.
Their daughter abandoned in the streets of Shanghai as an infant. Born with a severe cleft lip and palate, she needed parents who could care for her and a loving home. A home Lisa and Scott knew was meant for her.
They finally showed us her picture, and I don't know, I think I screamed and cried, and I carried the picture around with me for the rest of the day.
A special needs program brought the family together, a joy the Goodsons experienced after several failed adoptions, then an agonizing 6-month wait to get their little girl.
Oh, that was brutal.
Yeah, I didn't believe it was going to happen.
But then, it did.
I remember landing, and I remember looking right at my wife and saying, we're in China.
It was sort of crazy, because that's that picture. And that picture comes walking in at me, and I had waited my whole life. And there she was. She looked at me like, who are you?
The journey at home, not easy. Emma enduring multiple surgeries and speech therapy. Her parents always ready for the challenge.
She didn't have a lip on one side. And we're like, all right, let's do this.
They did it thanks to the hands of several doctors at the Cleveland Clinic. Their gratitude, endless.
So very good with Emma and have brought her so far and have done it with a smile and grace.
Emma's doctor, Dr. Bahar Basari, blown away by her strength.
She's amazing. She's like a fighter. She's a go-getter.
Through the years, Emma forging her own path, not knowing anything other than the life she has lived.
I don't really tell kids my story.
Emma's story, her immeasurable love for her parents.
Infinity and beyond forever.
Her ambitions.
I would like to be the doctor, or maybe work at a grocery store or a restaurant.
And her favorite doctor.
Dr. Bahar.
She's a normal 9-year-old girl with hopes and dreams.
I like to go on my skateboard that I just got. I like to go on bike rides. I like to play the drums. 1, 2, 3, 4.
3 people on a journey, finding each other across the world, bonded in their hearts forever.
And I'm so very proud to be her mom. I would live every day I've lived already if it wound up with my butt back in China, picking up this girl. She is my everything.
Lindsay Buckingham, 3 News.
3 lives changed forever.
Oh my gosh, just what an incredible family, you know, for them to endure so much and do it for her.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's amazing the impact that adoption can have on the parents and the children.
Definitely.
Remember, November is National Adoption Month. Next, on lunch break, you fan of the movie Elf?
So can I tell you a secret?
Sure.
Never seen it.
Oh, no.
Never seen it. No.
One of my favorite Christmas movies ever. There's a new Buddy-inspired hotel room. Where it is and how much it will cost you to stay there. Next. I can't believe
Everyone knows my
you've
secret
never
now. Yeah,
seen it.
never seen it. Yeah.
I'm still kind of in the state of shock.
Really? No, shock.
Shock.
Okay.
It is such a good movie, Tiffany.
You're missing it.
I mean, I don't doubt it.
Anyhow, the movie Elf has inspired one New York City hotel to go all out. This is at Club Wyndham Midtown 45. They have a suite inspired by the movie. And look at that room. It's got it all.
That is joy right there. Pure joy.
It is joy. It's got the snowflakes, the toys. How much do you think it's worth for one night to stay there? What would you pay?
Oh, in New York too? I bet you this is like $600.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was
Is it
gonna
more
be.
than that? I would think it would be more than
See,
that.
I thought it would be. It's $399. It's available
That
December
sounds like a
2nd
deal.
through December 26th.
As sad as it is, that's not bad.
They make it sound like a deal now. Hey.
Well, listen, in New York, around the holidays, you're going to drop $400 a night.
Oh, for sure.
On a hotel room. So the fact that it's $399, I think that's a bargain.
Yeah, I dropped something like that for a hotel room in downtown Cleveland once.
I'm saying.
You did?
Honeymoon night. Yeah.
Ooh, so you went big time suite.
No.
No?
No, it was like $400.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Thanks for sitting at the lunch table.
This is CLE. Hey.
Next time I see you, I'm going to ask you how you like the movie Elf.
All right. Next time, will we have food too?
Yes, I hope so.
All right, cool. I like that.
We'll see you tomorrow on lunch break. Have a good day.
Thanks for making 3 News a part of your afternoon. Watch us live wherever you are, on our website, on our apps, and on Hulu and Roku. No matter where you are, 3 News is there.